Good morning, students. Today we will see about the coagulation pathway or the clotting factor. You have to remember when the clotting, in today this class we will see how the blood is getting clotted. In a two process it is getting clotted, instinic and the extrinsic. Instinic means inside the blood itself some properties are there, so it is getting clotted. For example, if I am removing 1 ml of blood, or if I got a gut injury, or this blood I am taking it and immediately it is getting clotted. So why it is clotted? Because of some enzymes properties are present. When there is a injury, there is a what happening in the tissues. What happened? This is the endothelial tissues also will be getting damaged. So what is the defense mechanism in our body? Immediately the platelet aggregations will be taken place. The instruction will be goes to the nerve ending. Naturally the construction of the vessels will be taken place. But also there are so many in our bloodstream, there is naturally anticoagulants are present. How it is produced? Mostly the liver is producing the anticoagulants and it is circulating in the bloodstream. So what will happen during the time of injury? There is a procoagulant will be started to secrete. In that only we are going to see in this class. Actually the blood clotting or how it's coming, tissue damage. This extreme instinic factor, what's happening inside the blood, extrinsic pathway, what is happening in the tissue factor, because endothelial tissues also getting damaged. That also releasing some of the component. How it does helps to form the plaque or like platelet aggregations and the plaque. So this aggregations helps how in this way. If you have to remember, this is the longest pathway and the tissue factor is a very short and the quick pathway. When there is a injury, in the platelet having a capable of first activating the factor 12. So this activating the factor 12, this factor is getting activated. Once this one is a non-activated, once this getting injured, it is getting activated from this state to the non-active states to the activating stage. So this activated factor will be activating the another clotting factor is called the 11. So 12 and the 11 getting activated. So in this 11 factor getting activated, and also it stimulates and activate the factor 9. So this 9 also going to get activated when this platelet, this surface of the platelets having some of the presence of phospholipids and calcium and the factor 8. What is that factor 8? It's an anti-hemophilic factor. Where it is secreted, as I told you, this factor also produced from the liver, but it does need vitamin K. Okay, vitamin K. If there is a kind of vitamin K deficiency, there is a bleeding disorder will be occurring called the hemophilia. Okay, so this factor also activating, and when with the help of this, and then 10 factor will be activating, and this will become an activated 10 factor. Then this activated 10 factor will be acting upon the prothrombin. So this prothrombin will be all these properties and activated 10, and it will convert the prothrombin into the thrombin. So thrombin will be acting upon the fibrinogen, and it converts the fibrinogen to the fibrin monomer. This fibrin monomer will be forming the network over the injured area over the platelet. It will be depositing. Understand? So what's happening? Any injured area, immediately that will stimulate the it's enough to stimulate the factor number 12. So this one getting activated 12, and it is going to activate the 11, and 11 will get activated to the 9, and 9 will be activating with the 10, and with the 10 will in this having the property of the phospholipids and calcium, and the factor 8 will be making the 10 to activate to the this one action. This actions will be activating the 10 will be activated, then the activated 10 will be acted upon the prothrombin, and prothrombin converts into the thrombin, and the thrombin also will activate upon fibrinogen and to the fibrin monomer. The fibrin monomer will be forming the network over deposit to the platelet. This thrombin also will be having another activation. This will activate the factor number 13. What is this factor number 13? it is called the thrombostabilizing factor. Once it is activated thrombostabilizing factor, and this one will also produce the so much network to the platelet. So it will also cross link the monomer already what it is deposited. Okay, so the major basic this one is first clot formation will be the formation of a prothrombin, and the prothrombin convert into the thrombin, and then with the calcium ion and all these things, and this fibrinogen convert into the insoluble fibrin. So what is the definition of coagulation? In the plasma, soluble fibrinogen is activated and converted into the insoluble fibrin strand. That is the definition. So with this three steps in the instinic factor we have seen, this is a very long pathway it is coming. Now extrinsic mainly made up by the tissue factor. So same way, when the tissue factor due to injury to the any tissue, there is a releasing factor. This will, any properties of this one on the platelets are all will be enough to activate the factor number clotting factor number 7. So this 7 is getting activated. The 7 is activated, and this factor number 7 will be again stimulate and activate upon the 9 as well as the 10. So with the 9 and as well as the 10, when it is getting activated, and also it will be producing the lot number of this one, and also it will be depositing more. So it will be releasing, and it will be taking the aggregation, and it is forming the primary plug, and it is also converted into the secondary plug, and then once it is producing more and more the lot of this one, what is happening, it's like a thick mesh like a structure, so that the bleeding will be completely arrested. Are you understanding? So you have to understand the concept. The coagulation pathways is always, or the clotting factor. So this what is called clotting, these kind of the enzymes always present in the bloodstream. It is produced by the liver, and the blood itself have its own property for clotting by itself. And when there is a damage in the tissue, and tissue also damage will be stimulate the platelet adherence, and releasing factor will be coming from the platelet surface, and aggregations will be taken place, and primary and secondary platelet plug will be forming. So what's happening? So this is more than enough for the injury or anything. This surface of the platelets and the endothelium is enough to stimulate the factor 12. So it will stimulate the 11, and there will be 9, and it will be stimulate the 10, and also it have the properties of these phospholipids, calcium, and factor number 8 will act upon, activate the 10 to becoming action activated 10, and this will be helpful to prothrombin to converted into the thrombin, and thrombin will be helping to convert the fibrinogen into the fibrin monomer. Again it will be deposited in forming the network of the platelet. Thrombin is also having the another function. It will also have a also will be having another function, that is it will activate the factor number 13, and it will activate again stimulate. So it is again this platelet plug will be forming. So it is a very short and the quick pathway, and this one this pathway is a very long pathway. This is the instinic pathway. What is the extrinsic pathway? Same way, tissue also will be enough to produce, and it stimulate the factor number 7, and again it will be activate upon this 2. So that will be causing the another pathway. Thank you.